So I'll begin to talk about buzz baits and spinnerbaits. So with buzz baits, you'll like to cast it near weeds, logs, alongside shorelines, and start reeling it in as soon as it hits the water. The goal is to keep it plopping the surface, especially during the low light times. Now let's switch it up to spinnerbaits. You will like to retrieve it in a steady pace, or mix it up with twitches and pauses. This makes it look like it's a struggling bait fish and triggers more aggressive strikes. Or if you would, you could add a small little rubber worm to the end of the spinnerbait to make it a little bit more realistic as a dead bait fish. Make sure those blades are spinning smoothly to create that flash and vibration fish loves. As the second bait, I would like to talk about the poppers, wobble poppers, and frogs. So with the poppers, you would like to fish them near lily pads, fallen trees, weeds, all that types of vegetation. This bait also mimics a struggling prey, so you would like to reel it in a steady pace, but still you could add the twitches and stuff like that to make it more realistic. And with the wobble plopper, same, cast it near structures and vegetation, all things like that, where all the fish would like to hide and things like that. Many different kinds of wobble ploppers. And finally to frogs. Cast it near structures, vegetation again, and you could reel it in small twitches like a frog would do, and just keep it realistic and alive all the time. And now the third type of lure I've chosen is the net rig. The net rig is a really easy lure to use. You have different types of doing it, but it's mainly the same. You cast it out near some rocks and structures and basically just twitch it in, drag it in, bounce it in, use it like a dead bait or anything like that. So when we head over to the plastic bait, I have chosen 4 different types of plastic bait you can use. The first one are these soft plastic crawfish, which you really can use all year round, but there is 2 different types of these crawfish that I would suggest you know before you go out and use them. So for the summer, I would probably use this one, the green one, which has more like rubber that makes vibrations and makes it really alive. And because the bass is cold-blooded and in the summer the water is a bit warmer, it makes them eat more and be a little bit more active than normally in the winter. And if you go over to the winter, the basses is, as I said, they are cold-blooded, so they don't have to use that. They don't use that much energy in the winter, so that makes they don't have to eat that much. So yeah, you would prefer using this more flat. And then if we head over to some more realistic baits, which I've chosen a salamander and a bluegill. You can basically just reel them in normally, like in a steady pace in the mid-water section or down in the wholly bottom of the water. Just don't stop reeling it in because it would make the fish more unrealistic. And now that we head over to the more hard plastic lures, I have chosen 2 wobblers, which I really like because they can fish very deep water with the lip they have in the front, and they just have this really realistic movements. And then if we head over to the more crankbait lures, I've chosen 2 lures, 2 different kinds of crankbaits. The first one is a more basic one, as we know them, and then another one which is a more modern version. You can see what's even going inside of it, which I think is pretty cool. So if we get the table clean real quick, so we can head over to the spoons and spinners. So I've chosen this spoon, which is a red and white one, which mimics a bleeding bait, and you can use it for pike and many other also bass if you want to. And then I've chosen some spinners, a black one, which is effective for me, a little white and a black. So this is what I would have chosen to take with me in one tackle box if I had to. It covers a lot of different types of fishing and is just really neat to have with you, just in case you have missed something you wanted to have with you. So yeah, like and subscribe, and see you in another video.